In the Creators Update, there are a few important changes to Edge, which is the web browser that comes with Windows. I'll just launch that here from the taskbar. Many of the changes are under the hood. There are some improvements that make Edge run faster. You're now able to watch 4K videos from Netflix inside of Edge. And these aren't really things that I can demo, but there are a few features that we can see and work with. And the biggest new feature is tab management. If you're not familiar with tabs, they give you the ability to have several web pages open at the same time. So as an example, let's say I'm planning a trip to London. I might start by just doing a search for London. Then I get my search results here, and I might want to go to one of these pages. Now, instead of just clicking on a link, I could right-click on a link and choose Open in New Tab. Now, up here at the top, I have a separate tab. So I can click on that to go to the page that I just opened, or I can click on this other tab to go back to the page that I had open a moment ago. Another way to create a new tab would be to hit this plus button next to the tabs that I have, and I could just type in the address for another page. So let's go to landonhotel.com, which is a hotel in London that I might want to take a look at. So now I have these three tabs open. I can have several pages open at the same time, and I can switch between them just by clicking on these tabs up here at the top. And this is all stuff that you could do in Edge before the update. Now we can look at some new features. Next to the button to create a new tab, there's this button to view my tab previews. So if I click on that, I get a better view of the different tabs, which might be easier to flip between them. And then I can hit this button again to close that view. Then all the way on the other side of my tabs is this button to set the tabs aside. So I might want to start researching a different topic. I don't want to have a bunch of new tabs on a different topic open alongside of these tabs, but I'm not quite ready to close these tabs either. So I'm going to hit this button to set this collection of tabs aside. So I click that, and it looks like those tabs are gone, but we're going to see them again in just a moment. I'm going to hit this button that says Got It here. It's just explaining that to me, so I'm going to clear that. So now I have a clean slate, and I can start researching something else. For now, I want to work on a research project about Sherlock Holmes. So I'm going to go to Wikipedia, and I'll do a quick search here on Wikipedia for Sherlock Holmes. Get a bunch of information here. I want to open another link, but I will right-click on it and open that in a new tab. And let me open up another new tab where I'll go to Amazon.com. I'll go to the books section in Amazon, and I'll search for Sherlock Holmes there. And I think that's enough. I have three tabs open. I can hit this button so I can look at them all, and I can switch between them here. At this point, I might be thinking that I want to go back to those tabs that I had open for my London trip. So what I can do is go to this button all the way on the far left and click on that. And I can see the tabs that I've set aside. And of course, I can see all of those London tabs are here just waiting for me. So what I could do is I could click on one of these tabs and it would be restored. Or I could click on this button here that says Restore Tabs and it would restore all of them. But I don't want to do that yet because that would, again, just mix all of the tabs that I have together. So instead, before I restore anything, let me go back to what I'm working on over here. I'm going to again hit the button that says Set These Tabs Aside. So now the Sherlock Holmes tabs have been set aside. So now I can go back to this button to show the tabs that I've set aside, and I have two groups. I have two categories here. So now I could restore all of the London tabs, and now those are back. I can jump between those. Maybe I want to set those aside again. This time I'll go back here and I'll restore all of the tabs related to Sherlock Holmes. So I could sort of jump back and forth between these two projects. So for now, let me just set all of these tabs aside. So now we can focus on the other new big feature in Edge. And that new feature is books, as in you can buy and read books in Edge. Actually, you will buy the books from the Windows Store, but the application you use to read those books on your computer will be Edge. So I want to click on the Hub button, which is over here near the top right corner. And this is where you would go to access your favorites or to save favorite websites or to go to the reading list or to go to your history or your download queue. But now there's a new button here for books. So I'm going to click on that and I can see my library of books. Now, this is what it looks like if you have not purchased any books, or if you have purchased some books, but you have not signed into your store account. So first, I want to sign into my account, so I can do that by hitting this sign in button here. And you can use any Microsoft account. Maybe it's a free Outlook account or an Xbox Live account or an Office 365 account, whatever Microsoft Online account you use, but make sure you use the same account that you use in the Windows Store. So it's already acknowledged my account because I've signed into other applications on this computer. So I will select that. I'll hit continue. It may prompt you for your password, but I'm already signed in. So it's got me signed in here. And in a moment, I can see that there is one book already in my library. And since I did not buy it on this computer, I can click this download button to download it locally to this computer. Okay, so I can see the books that I've purchased in the past, but let's purchase another new book. For that, I can hit this button that says Shop for Books, which just bounces me over to the Windows Store, specifically to the new category for books. So of course, I could browse through here. I could just scroll through and click on books that I'm interested in. I could go to these different categories, or I could just do a search. So let's do a search. And of course, I want to search for Sherlock Holmes. Let's read some more Sherlock Holmes books. And of course, there will be a lot of options here. Now, I'm searching the entire store. So I'm seeing apps, I'm seeing games and movies and TV shows. I want to make sure I go to the category for books, then I can hit show all, and now I'm only looking at search results for books. So I want to scroll through here and find something that looks good. Let's get the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to click on that to get information. I can see the price. This one is very inexpensive. I can see some information about it here, but let's hit the buy button. Now, of course, you will need to be signed into the store. So if you click on this little silhouette button up here at the top, you want to make sure you're signed in. And you may have to go to payment options and make sure you have a credit card attached to your account as well. But if you have purchased things from the Windows Store in the past, you should be all set. So all I need to do is hit this buy button. It's going to ask me to confirm my password just for security. I'll type that in and hit sign in. It's going to confirm that I have the right credit card on file, which I do, so I'll hit buy. And now it has made that charge to my credit card and I have purchased that book. I could hit this read button here, or I could just close this, go back to Edge. You may have to close this tab, close Edge, and start it up again. Go back to the hub. Give it a moment to refresh, and now I can see that new book that I purchased is here. And I do have to hit the download button to download it to my computer. That should work very quickly. And now I have the book here. So if I want to read it, I just need to click on the book here, and it opens it up, and it's almost like reading a website, except you're not going to scroll up and down. Instead, you can click on the left or right sides of your screen to go forward or backwards. Or if you click somewhere in the middle of the screen, it brings up some on-screen controls. So you might go to this table of contents button. And this is a collection of short stories. So I could go to a specific short story here and I can continue reading just by clicking on the left or right side. Or if you have a computer with a touch screen, you can just swipe with your finger to go through the next and previous pages. And when you're finished reading, you can just treat this like any web page that you are reading. Simply close the tab or quit Edge when you're finished. The next time you open that book again in Edge, you will pick up right where you left off. So those are the biggest new features in the Edge web browser: tab management and books.